Hey everyone, it's Chad. Now, you saw the title of the video, so you know what this is about, but first I want to talk a little bit about the journey to get here. You see, there was a time when writing itself felt like a fantasy, and I used to daydream about just having one finished novel, not even published, just a draft. But in the last few years, I've been lucky enough to release not just one, but 3 books that I'm very proud of. My first was the psychological horror novel Nightmare, the book that taught me how to write, and in many ways taught me that I could write. And still to this day, it's got some of my favorite characters, and probably my favorite plot twists that I've done. My second novel, the crime thriller Shade, let me show off my love of detective fiction, crafting a world of twisted serial killers and tortured FBI agents. And the cross-cutting between past and present is one of the things that I'm most proud of, especially that in the later chapters. And then, most recently, it was The Animal. The Animal is a love letter to all things slasher. It was an absolute blast to write, and it contains some of my favorite characters I've ever written, like Riley, Clyde, and especially Oliver. And on this journey, I owe so much to you, both the readers who stuck with me from the beginning, and those just joining me now. All the success I've had with Nightmare, Shade, and especially The Animal has been incredible to see. From the reviews, posts on Goodreads or YouTube, to messages I've been sent, or even readers walking up to me at a book signing and telling me they loved one of my stories. It means so much, and I want to thank every one of you. But it's been 2 years since The Animal was released, and so the question becomes, what have I been up to since then? Well, as some of you may know, before my recent graduation, I was an engineering student. But way back in 2021, I was taking a core theater class, and the class project was to write a 10-page screenplay based on one of the Brothers Grimm fairy tales. It was supposed to be a strict adaptation, and I could have done that, but I was excited to have a break from the endless math of engineering, and I had an idea that I really liked, so I decided to flesh it out a little bit. And those 10 pages came and went. So did 20, and 30, and 130, until finally, at 134 pages, the screenplay was done. And the truth was, I really liked how it turned out. So, not too long after the class was over, I got to work adapting it into a novel. Whereas the screenplay was mostly basic prose that held very little descriptions, I wanted the novel to be something more, something that gave the feeling of reading those old fairy tales, but finding something new. And, by the end of 2022, I had a first draft for the novel. And after another 2 years of editing it, alongside my other writing projects, finally it was ready for publication. So, early this year, it had its final proofread, and with the help of Miblart, I got to work on the cover art and the formatting. And now, over 4 years from when it was started, it's finally ready to be released. So, without further ado, I present to you One Grimm Night. One Grimm Night is a fairy tale retelling that takes many of the stories you might be familiar with and combines them in a way you wouldn't expect. It's a locked door suspense thriller, in the same vein as And Then There Were None or The Hateful Eight, but with a darker, more supernatural edge that leans itself into its fairy tale roots. It is the story of a group of strangers who are stranded together in a seemingly haunted forest by a raging thunderstorm, forced to seek refuge together in a small cabin. From a young girl named Red, who tells tales of a monster from the forest, to a stranger who arrives on their doorstep with no explanation, to a blind prince or a stranded princess, to the kind old woman who takes all of them in, everyone has secrets, even the cabin itself. And as the night grows longer and the storm grows worse, those secrets start to come to light, and the blood starts being shed. And before long, only 2 questions remain. Can any of them survive one grim night? And do any of them deserve to? One Grimm Night is unlike anything I've written before. Because of its screenplay roots, in certain areas it focuses heavily on dialogue, letting the characters and their conversations drive the narrative. On the other hand, because of its fairy tale inspiration, I wanted the prose to feel special, the descriptions to feel vivid, the writing to feel different, like emerging between the modern, sharper prose of today and the descriptive prose of the past. And most of all, I wanted it to be fun. It's a fairy tale after all, and what are they if not to be exciting? In addition to the writing, this is also the most visually impressive book I've done. I've worked with Miblart closely to ensure that its artwork, both for the cover and the interior, would be worthy of the fairy tales it honors. Every chapter has a unique heading that helps tell the story. Every part has a new cover page with detailed illustrations of the characters. Everything down to the page numbers that show a single raven flying back and forth across the page was done with one goal in mind: make this the best reading experience possible. And I hope we've done that. So, with all that said, my 4th book is finally on its way. Its release date is set for October 21st, just in time for the spooky season, and pre-orders should be going up on Amazon within days if they're not already. So please, if you're interested, pre-order it, tell a friend, and mark your calendars. One Grimm Night is coming, and I really hope you enjoy it.